Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jamila Daura. Thank you for clicking to watch this video. If you are new, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, hi. So today's video, you guys can tell from the thumbnail who we are going to be talking about. I'm not going to be fixated on, trying to understand or hammering on what went wrong in their marriage based on who they are. But this is something that I feel like it can happen to anybody, and we have lessons to draw from, because there is this you have lessons to draw from it. So let's get right into this video. But subscribe to my channel if you're seeing my face for the first time. Give this video a thumbs up and let us get right into it. So a few weeks ago, Adam Zango's marriage was on the hot seat because of issues he was having with his wife. He had a nervous breakdown on the internet where he talked about, it was really touching. I watched the video. We are all humans, and just because he's a man does not mean that he does not have emotions and he should just be bottling things up. I saw people come at him and say that, he's weak, his dad is his fault and everything. But one thing we want to understand, that we are all in different individuals, and we have things that make us up, that and those things are things that are acceptable to us, not acceptable to us, our strengths and our weaknesses. So people were just coming at him, and he has the history of Auren Seki. I don't think he's been married for more than 3 times. That should probably be his 3rd marriage or 4th. And people are coming at him that he's giving him this identity of me, Auren Seki. Auren Seki in the north is for men that like get married and divorce their wives every now and then, changing women like pants. So yeah, and I feel like that is not a fair judgment, because remember, there are things that are in the hands of Allah that we do not have control over. However, although our actions might look like our actions are influencing it, but what is meant to be will always be, and everything is in the control of Allah. And yes, like I said, what you pray for, how you behave can also contribute. So I'm going to be addressing this from 3 things, and that is the aspect of 4 areas, like individuality, what seem to be their problem. Now there is the individuality, and individuality means that it means what it means. Adam Zango is his person, his wife is her own person, and that individuality plays a whole lot of role in marriage. It can make you or mar you. I think people take that thing that, two becomes one. So when 2 become one, everything is the same, everything will fly, whether the other person likes it or not. No, it does not work like that in marriage. 2 become one is a different thing entirely. It does not mean that I am now the person I am married to and the person that I'm married to is now me. It can never be. If it ends up being that way, we are even going to see more chaos in marriage than we are seeing now, because I am just my own person and the person I'm married to is just his own person. We might begin to find middle ground. That is where that individuality, our differences, we create a middle ground for our differences. So when you create that middle ground for for your differences, it begins to like a little bit take away from the intensity and the negative impact of what a trait that I may have that is not suitable for my partner, and a trait my partner may have and that might not be suitable for me. So that is that middle ground. So let us never eliminate individuality. Adam Zango in his video talked about how there are things that he does not really like. Just because he's a public figure does not mean that he does not have boundaries with his personal life, and and that this thing that he does not like, his wife keeps on doing it. And people kept on asking, so all the women that you've been marrying are the problems, right? But when you are married to someone, you have to be willing to cut out some certain excesses in terms of behavior, in terms of your actions. You have to be willing to cut out excesses. It might just be your excess behavior that is a huge turn off for someone. And with the whole thing, the way northern marriages are, we don't really live with our spouses. We don't really kind of have that kind of courtship with our spouses before marriage. So the rude awakening happens when you get into marriage, and depending on how you manage it, and most of this rude awakening comes right in the very early years, in the earlier years of your marriage. And if you don't work on it, if you don't manage it properly, it will linger on. The second thing is expectation. I see expectation being a problem in their marriage, still based off of, now it is only Adam A. Zango's side of the story that we have heard, and we cannot really draw judgments here. So everything I'm giving here are just speculations and just drawing out of the things that he have said. So expectation, I did sense some high expectations in the things that he said. Like, oh, he said he told her to stop he does not want her face on social media, he does not want her to be doing social media, and he told her about it and all that. So one thing I want to bring to our consciousness is that as women and young girls that will go into marriage that feel like, oh, we are woke, we are in the woke season, and everything, you have the right to do anything and whatever it is that you want to do. Marriage, being in a marriage, most especially with a celebrity or someone that is a public figure, does not mean that he should lost his sense of, let me see, expectation as well. She has her expectations. Of course, she is the wife of a superstar, and she probably would feel like maybe it is normal. And if she've always had a social media presence before marriage, she might want to continue with it. So men have to also understand that a woman that you're getting married to, most especially if she's been quite established, you cannot give a hard reset to her life just because you are marrying her. And as for women, we also have to understand that this man you're married to has become your protector, your provider, and it is paramount on him to seek for ways to protect you. And yeah, social media in the north is something that there's just been a lot of this negative sensationalization of social media and its use in the northern part of Nigeria, that you see married women dancing, doing all sorts of things that they should not be doing on social media. For me as a woman, is a turn off. And another thing that, like he said, was that, again, she was Uwar Adashi. Uwar Adashi is, thrift collector. Being Uwar Adashi will attract a lot of things to you. And you're married to someone that is a public figure. You have to also put yourself in his shoes. You don't want to draw negative attention. The man said morning, day, night, there are different issues because of the Adashi thing that she does. It is his right to protect you. He's your husband. You cannot say that, oh, I'm a grown woman, I know how to protect myself. No, he is answerable to Allah on the measures that he's taking to protect you. And this is based off of the things that he'll see happening. I do social media, and I have never put my family in a state where they become vulnerable. If Adam A. Zango have sensed that the issue in the morning is different, the issue in the afternoon is different, it is like he said, people are coming to his house, she's always either fighting or agitated. She's always in an agitated state because of issue of money. So he has to protect you. He has to protect his home. He has to protect his children if they have any. So he has every right to tell her that he does not want her thrifting. He does not want her doing in that kind of business, because it is a dangerous thing. We all are familiar with the lady that was collecting people's money to promise them to bring goods into Nigeria for them to sell, and she's nowhere to be found, and they are hunting her down for millions of money. What if she brings such liability to him? Who is going to solve it? So these are the ways he will look at things, as the man of the house, as your protector and provider, just as Allah have put that burden on him. Be rest assured that he is going to take measures, and those measures might not be good for you, but it might be what is best for your marriage, for your union, so long as you want to remain in that marriage. Otherwise, if you want to just be married to yourself then and not be under someone, then by all means do whatever it is that you want to do, but let us be honest with ourselves, right? And in the sense of that expectation as well, I would think that Adam A. ZANGO is also going to look for a way to get her employed or gainfully employed or provide, even if it's providing all of her needs, it is still a form of security for men to establish their women in a way that come rain, come shine, they are able to still be on their feet if the worst case scenario things happen. The other problem that I see in the whole thing that he said is contentment. There's this saying to men in Islam that that you may love one thing, you may dislike one thing about her, but there is something about her that should be pleasing to you. Obviously, he's probably married to someone that is slightly stubborn. I am slightly stubborn, but I'm not saying slightly. I am stubborn. I am a stubborn person. I hate to say it, but I'm trying to put myself in Adam A. ZANGO's shoes and to say that if you're dealing with a woman with a tough personality that has strong personality, they are very hard to navigate. And that does not totally mean that she is a bad person or she is trying to make life difficult or hard for you. I see it as a thing that he is fixated on the wrong things, and that is taking away from his level of contentment to the woman, level of contentment with the woman he's married to, because he's not perfect. Adam ZANGO is not perfect. There are probably things about him that does not sit well with her, but she's been able to tolerate him and endure it and accept him for who he is. He needs to learn to do that, not just with the woman that I don't know if they are back together, but if he's going to be married again, because he did say he's never going to be married, men need to learn to be contented. You see men admiring women that are maybe skinny, their complexion is a certain way, the way they dress is a certain way, but there are trade-offs in all of this. Perhaps you can be lucky and you marry a woman that, oh, she is everything, but I guarantee you there is that minus 1% or minus 0.1% that makes her 99.9 and not 100%. And that is the way people in marriage or relationship, we need to learn to start looking at people we are in a relationship with, either friendship or marital or just normal dealings with people in life, right? Nobody is perfect, always try to look beyond people's flaws and imperfections, except of course those traits are becoming toxic and they are going to harm you, they are going to harm the person or your children, or then you need to start taking definitive actions, right? But if it is just the kulung kind of situation, every now and then kind of situation, you don't need to be that drastic about it. Take contentment and be contented and be grateful for what you have, because one man's meat is another man's poison. You just lose a good thing just for the flimsiest reason, and someone else will grab her and make a queen out of her, and or make a king out of your husband that you do not appreciate. So I'm trying to balance the scale here. The last point I have for their problems is communication. You guys, I have been talking about communication in relationships for a very long time, and in a recent video I just uploaded as to why northern marriages don't last, I talked about communication. Communication is a two-way street. It is me talking to you right now, and I hope that you guys are not just listening to me, but if there are things that strikes a chord in you, then you are going to be actionable about it, right? That is how marriage, there should be feedback in marriage. I don't know if people practice feedback in their marriages, but I have feedback in my marriage. Every now and then I just ask the mister, are you okay? Do you love me? What are the things that I do that you do not like? And if there are things, I tell him. There should be that exchange of feelings in such a way that it helps make the other person better, and it also makes you better, and be actionable. Inactions are very, very terrible. People feel like there are times when they have to exercise that inaction and it's what is best. Not all the time. Too many of those inactions will end up costing you a beautiful union. So learn to communicate with your significant other. And I feel like the mode and the way of communicating, you cannot tell a grown woman what to do. If you're a man and you feel like, oh, I'm married to her, she's this, she's that, she's under you, there is that level of independence that you need to accord her. and you have to treat her like the adult that she is. She's not your servant, she's not your slave. So if you don't just dish out instructions and expect it to be fulfilled. She is a grown up that is able to make decisions for herself. So there should be that balance is what I'm trying to say. Like, balance your demands, balance your actions and your inactions. And quickly, I made a list of things like way out, and it's so funny how I talked about balance just now. And the first thing I said is balance. All the things I've said in the as the problem: individuality, expectation, contentment, and communication. You need to create a balance between your individuality, take away the extreme behaviors that you have. That not everybody Nobody is meant to tolerate your excuse my French again, your shitty behavior. So balance all those things, balance your expectation, balance your contentment, and balance the way you communicate. If you put balance in all of these things, the rest things will take care of themselves. Fair in judgment. Let us really be fair with one another when it comes to marriage, and even when it comes to life. Let us be fair. We put so much burden on people and think that everybody is superhuman or superman, superwoman like that. No, let us be fair in our judgments. And again, this is also from the perspective of the people that were coming at Adam A. ZANGO, saying things like, oh, he's weak, he's that, he's a man and he's a human being with feelings, so he's allowed to be vulnerable. The comments I saw could drive someone into depression. Who said men should not have feelings? I want to know, because it just doesn't make sense. And the third thing I have is patience and tolerance. And this is going to go for both men and women. We need to learn maximum patience. In short, that is what makes marriage flourish. Maximum patience and tolerance, because no kidding, you will see and unsee in marriage. You will see certain things, you will experience certain things and be like, why did I leave the comfort of my parents' house to come and take this nonsense? Like, there will be moments like that. But if you're doing it with the right person, if you're doing marriage with the right person, believe you me, you'll be able to tolerate and you'll be patient with them, and wait till that moment comes when you all are on the same page. Selflessness. Marriage is 100% commitment, 100% selflessness. Marriage is 100% giving as you are taking. So there is nothing like 50-50. You are in it 100 as an individual. The other person should be in it 100. You can't pick and choose marriage, which side of marriage you want to be in. You want to be in all of it. You want to be the best husband, you want to be the best wife. You have to be in your best behavior as a man or as a woman. There is no picking and choosing. It shouldn't be when his family is around, that is when you're a good wife. It shouldn't be when you are around friends and family, that is when you're kind and good to each other. No, it takes selflessness and 100% commitment to be able to navigate the storm in marriage. So yeah, so this is it, guys. So these are the things that I feel like I needed to touch on with Adam A. ZANGO's issues. Let me know if there's any other celebrity marriage talk or issue talk or lifestyle talk that you would like for me to talk about on this channel. I'll be glad to do so. And yeah, I hope may God continue to make our affairs easy for us. I know marriage is not easy, so may He continue to ease it for us. Please subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, and see you in my next video. Bye and stay blessed. 2 a.m. got me feeling myself.